Good morning, everyone. I want to read a little passage from 2 Corinthians chapter 3. I'm going to start in verse 14. It says, "But their minds were hardened. For to this day," and this is talking about the day of Paul, and it even stands today too. "But for to this day, when they read the old covenant, that same veil remains unlifted, because only through Christ is it taken away." Verse 15. "Yes, to this day, whenever Moses is read, a veil lies on their heart." And this is not talking about literally just reading it, okay? This is talking about letting it get in your heart. It's talking about trusting in it. People who trust in Moses, they read Moses, they trust Moses, or they trust everything that Moses said, but not what Moses pointed to. Moses pointed to Jesus, and Jesus is the fulfillment of the law. He's the fulfillment of Moses. That means these dietary laws, these do's and don'ts, these Sabbaths, these new moons, all these things have nothing to do with us. If you're in Christ, you're free from all these things. You're not under the law. Okay, the law was a schoolmaster who brought us to Christ, but now that Christ is here, the schoolmaster is not in play no more. Um, we're not under the law, period. And if you're a Gentile, you definitely wasn't under the law. The law was given to the Israelites. The oracles of God was given to the Israelites. That's in Romans chapter 3, verse 1 and 2. The covenants, all these things, these promises, they were all given to the Israelites. Now, as a Gentile, we do come into this covenant, this new covenant, and we do receive the promises of God. Wow, that's called grace. And I just want to encourage you guys. There's a lot of people on TikTok, there's a lot of people on social media who are out there proclaiming Moses and preaching the old covenant, telling you that you have to keep dietary laws, telling you that you have to obey the 10 Commandments or else, or, Paul said that the 10 Commandments is the ministry of death, written and engraved on stones. That's 2 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 7. He says in verse 6 right there that we're ministers of the new covenant, not of the letter, because the letter kills, but the Spirit gives life. And so, what covenant do you want to be under? I want to be under the covenant of life. Jesus Christ says he came to give life and life more abundantly. We're under a new covenant now. The law has nothing to do with us. You can learn from it, you can get some wisdom from it, but salvation and redemption has nothing to do with the law. And trusting in Jesus is the only way to the Father. And I'm talking about the risen Jesus. I'm not talking about this post-cross Jesus, okay? Yes, Jesus is the same yesterday and today forevermore. I get that. But you have to understand that there's a difference between the cross. There's a line drawn in the sand at the cross. The cross is what ushered in the new covenant. Jesus taught the law on steroids throughout the Gospels there. Now, yes, he taught truth. I get that 100%. But you also have to look at the context of who he was talking to and who his audience was if you're going to understand the things that Jesus said. The line was drawn in the sand at the cross. The new covenant began at the cross. In Hebrews chapter 9, he talks about how the blood brought in the new covenant. And so, guys, the law has nothing to do with us. Moses has nothing to do with us. On the Mount of Transfiguration, Peter wanted to build a tabernacle for all three of them, Moses, Jesus, and Elijah. It's the same thing today. People are trying to build tabernacles for all three of them. It's not Jesus plus Moses. It's not Jesus plus the prophets. It's not Jesus plus the law, okay? It's Jesus and Jesus alone. It's Christ alone. And I'm talking about the post-cross Jesus, the risen Jesus. All right? Man, there's salvation in no other. It's only through Jesus Christ. God forbid if I don't point to Jesus. And Jesus didn't point to Moses, okay? Jesus pointed to the Father. Don't let these people trick you out there, guys. Don't trust all these myth and fables that people are trying to promote out there in the name of control. I'm telling you, this religion will kill you. The thief comes to kill, steal, and destroy. And that thief is religion. Because according to verse 1 of that same chapter in John chapter 10, there he says, the thief and the robber is the one who's trying to get to the sheepfold except through the door. And that's exactly what religion does. They try to get to the Father except through Jesus. Jesus is the way. Religion will kill you, steal from you, and destroy you. Trust in Jesus. Jesus is the way. He's the truth, and he's the life. The Spirit is greater than Moses. That's the whole point of 2 Corinthians chapter 3. God bless you guys. Have a great day.